how'd you get here?
This is where the boys are separated from the men. The Lost World boys. Separated from... Whatever. My point is, this stage is really cool. And it showcases effectively someone's understanding of the systems that are in place in Lost World. This is a really good stage. And this stage really kicks you in the balls if you're constantly holding down the run button, alright? This stage got so much shit when it was just existing at launch, bro. Oh my god, I saw so many people being like, why the fuck do I do this stupid spin? Why do I do this? Like, oh my god, it was AVGN type shit. Like, fake baby rage bullshit, bro. Effectively, if you don't know how this gimmick works, right, there's ice. And when you're on the ice, Sonic ain't got that good of a traction, okay? His feet are slippery sliding, like on a basketball court. He's fucking trying to run, and he can't do it too great, so he has to start ice skating when you press the run button. Alright? If you are not holding the run button, Sonic will go super, super slow. And beyond that, you can't spin dash either. There's no real easy way to get around having to hold the run button on that ice if you don't want to just go slow as fucking molasses in a Sonic game, right? Here's the thing. If you hold the run button the entire time, if you hold the run button when you press the jump button, Sonic does a little pirouette, bro. Is that what it's called? I don't know. The ballerina bullshit where he does a little spin in the air, and that locks your air control entirely. Therefore, your air mobility, ass. Terrible. Terrible. And it does carry your momentum a little better, so there's a use for it, right? It does something that's a little different and not entirely bad in comparison to, I mean, the normal jump, right? However, you might be noticing there are times where I'm doing a normal jump off the ice. Why is that? Even though it looks like I'm holding on the run button 90% of the time, why do I magically still get the normal jump? Because I know when you let go of the run button, you do a normal jump. Alright? All you have to do to get through that stage is not hold down the run button the entire fucking time, and you get the benefit of the insanely fast movement on ice, plus you get the normal jump if you are utilizing the run button effectively. This is why every motherfucker who bitches about the run button and how it's stupid and whatever, like, there are interesting ways you can utilize it while still maintaining fast movement. Right? The fact that a run button exists in the first place is not antithetical to Sonic and antithetical to fast movement in a Sonic game. I think that discussion, that talking point is dumb. I think it's dumb. Like, it's totally valid to not want to go slow in a Sonic game. That's fine. That's fine. The existence of a run button does not inherently disregard everything Sonic has built. There's this whole conversation about momentum too. Look. Alright, we have had boost formula games out the wazoo. We've had Sonic X Shadow Generations with the Shadow Generations portion. Momentum is not a fucking part of that game. People still love it as a Sonic game. The fact that they have removed momentum effectively by introducing a run button is not a problem. Nor is it antithetical to what Sonic is. Nor does it limit people's mobility. Like, having to hold down a run button for a little while and then let go of it at certain points, using your brain, it's not hard, bro. It's not a problem. It's not a fucking problem. Look, I usually side with a decent amount of Lost World hate. I'm not gonna lie. Because, like, as much as I love this game, as much as I think it has a lot of potential and a lot of really great things, there are so many instances where the game will not teach you how to do things. The game will not push you to interact with a lot of its interesting mechanics, like the parkour. There are a lot of levels, like the one coming up, that just flat out change the entire gameplay style and make it fucking stupid. This snowball level that's coming up, wait for it. Go! Snowball jump scare. This shit sucks. It's really not good. I don't think it's as terrible as people make it out to be, but it's slow as fuck. It's boring. It's nothing special. It's nothing Sonic, man. Like, there are plenty of instances where the game will fumble the bag, and there are plenty of instances where I will completely and totally admit it fumbles the bag. The run button conversation feels so fucking 2016 talking point to me, man. Like, it is not even remotely against Sonic's principles, and there are a lot of ways in which the game really incentivizes you and makes you use the run button in an interesting way. You don't just hold it down the entire time. The existence of the run button is not there simply for you to hold it down. And if you're doing that, you are playing the game in a way that is actively against what the game wants you to do. And generally, I could say, hey, well, maybe the game doesn't teach you that the run button shouldn't be held down the entire time, whatever. The game shouldn't have to teach you that. That's one of the few things that I don't think is a fault of the game's ability to teach, because the game should not have to let you know that at some points, there are going to be times where that run button they have, there are going to be some times where you don't have to hold it down, and it's better for you to not hold it down. Any second of experimentation will make that stage that we just played, Act 1, make so much sense for anybody who's interested in interacting with the run button as a mechanic, rather than just shit-talking it for the sake of shit-talking it. And I'm sorry, I'm usually not this aggressive about about Sonic opinions and shit, but like, this is just the one thing that I actively think is dismissive of how interesting of a mechanic it can be. I know. All you have to do is let go of it. You grab, you pull it down, and then you let go of it, and then you pull it down, you let go of it. That can be done interestingly, though, and I think that act we just played, ignore this act. This act doesn't exist. Pretend it's not there. Pretend it's not on screen right now. That act shows how cool the run button can be, and how interestingly it can be used. Because yes, you don't want to hold it down the entire time, so you don't get fucking clipped on parkour bullshit, right? Okay. Oh my god, this is something else that got talked about endlessly, and I still don't understand this. I still don't get it. I still hate this mentality. A lot of people will argue that it's very easy for the parkour mechanics, like for you to get clipped on shit. Please ignore the fact that I'm dying so many times. This stage is fucking dumb. This stage fucking sucks. Just ignore that this is even playing on the screen right now. But genuinely, I've seen a lot of people bitch and moan about how they keep clipping on things because of the parkour system. How they are running and then they run into a wall and then bada bing bada boom, they climb up the wall and accidental death, right? My same complaint applies. Don't hold down the run button the entire fucking time. And that's not me saying don't go fast, because you can continue to go fast and maintain speed and maintain a flow through the level when you're not constantly holding down the run button, or fuck it, when you're not constantly holding down the spin dash button. I want to talk about what just happened there in 5 seconds, but I want to blow my load on this thought first, bro. It is that easy. Just let go of the run button sometimes. Just let go of the run button sometimes. That is it. That level, that Act 1 of this fucking Winter Wonderland zone is the perfect example of how the game incentivizes you to not consistently hold down the run button. But people, because it's a Sonic game, will just mentally be like, well, I want to be going fast the whole time, let me hold down the run button. And then they won't even remotely think about why they're running into some of the issues they're running into, because their brain is so hard-coded to feel this certain way, like hold down the run button, gotta go fast, gotta go fast, gotta go fast, that they don't see that they can go fast while being smart about it. That's all I'm saying. I think a lot of the conversations that revolve around how the run button is bad and how it leads to this X, Y, and Z, a lot of it comes down to people not being smart about the utilization of it. Not the game not teaching you how to use it. It's a fucking button. It's a toggle that toggles one state and another state. There's some things the game does not have to teach you. And I think this is one of those examples where it's like, you could have figured that out from just playing the game. Like, it's not hard. Other thing I wanted to bitch and moan about, you'll notice that I'm playing the Steam version of the game. There's a lot of mods going on and shit. There's that little thing in the bottom right corner, that suitcase. That was on the Wii U gamepad in the Wii U version. Now it's actually on the analog stick press-in button. I think it's R3 or whatever. It's on R3 now. And the issue is, for me, I'm playing with a PS4 controller. It's very, very, very easy to play, push in R3, or at least for me. Maybe I'm a too much of a grippy motherfucker. I hold my controller too hard or whatever. But genuinely, like, I keep fucking it up, and I died once or twice in this stage because I kept gripping my controller. Like, I know, damn, bro, no one's gonna take that shit from you. I get it. But, like, I don't know. When I get close to death, I get scared. I grip it a little bit. That shit pops up, takes away all control from you. It's not great. I might look for a mod that removes that. The Steam port is definitely good in the sense that you can mod in a lot of stuff that was in the Wii U version. Plus, you have more mod support. You can get a lot of cool textural things. It runs better. It has a higher resolution. Things like that. But there's a lot of things that just did not translate well from the Wii U. And I think this is a good example of that. Also, this boss also fucking... There's not a good part of this stage at all. Just flat out. There's not a good part of this stage. This boss sucks. It requires you to have this very stop and go mentality, and you can't break those snowmen unless you're rolling in a spin dash snowball, whatever. Like, it sucks. There's a lot of really bad things that are happening in that level. It's the worst. Also, oh my god, this cutscene fueled so much Lost World hate for ages because Sonic made a dog shit pun. Whatever, bro. And then people will look at you and be like, no, Sonic's not corny, bro. Sonic's not corny. Like, you can argue this is a bad representation of him, but I can also see why these young kids are starting to be like, dude, he's kind of fucking, Sonic's a little corny, bro. He's this dog shit writing has made him corny for a minute. People are like tweaking out on people in like fucking Twitter replies and YouTube comments. No, Sonic's not corny. No, these TikTok heads, whatever. Like, bro, just because you don't like these games doesn't mean they didn't exist. They've had a lasting impact on the franchise. Sonic said this shit, bro. You can hate that he said it or whatever. That's totally valid. Whatever. But he said it. It makes sense that new fans would think a certain way. I hate that fucking term. Oh my god. New fans this, new fans that, bro. It makes me feel like I'm an elitist. Like, there's this part of my gut that just fucking crinkles in. And I start breathing really heavily. Right? Because, like, my body is so physically harmed by the fact that I'm being such an elitist dickhead about Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, what? Like, who cares? It's a fucking blue hedgehog. Ignore the fact that I just bitch and moaned about a blue hedgehog for 13 years. It never happened. You guys are insane. You guys are crazy. You clearly weren't listening to the video. Men in Black Mind Flip. You forgot everything, please. Also, by the way, hey, fun fact. This stage is really good, too. I like this one a lot. I think this is good. I think there's one minor fucky-wucky with it, which is right here, where you kind of just get tossed into a really quick pinball section. Feels very Sonic Frontiers-esque, where they try to throw in a minigame in the middle of the stage to give you a breather, but it doesn't really work. So, I don't like this part of the stage, but I think the rest of the stage, one, it's longer. It far outweighs the amount of time you spend in this one. This 5-second section, and it's such a minimal impact. But people will act like this entire stage is completely fucked because of that small section. Even though it's really fun in every other instance, and it makes you do a lot of really cool stuff with the platforming and the parkouring, and like, it's cool, bro. I like this day. Let me like Sonic Lost World, please, bro. Dude, this game is kind of fun when you don't have some guy in your ear. That little gremlin in your ear telling you, actually, according to the broader Sonic community, actually, it's pretty bad if you really think about it. When that gremlin is fucking out, when you finally take him out back, old Yellerim, oh my god, this game can be pretty fun. It has its issues. To be fair, again, we just went through an entire level where I sat down and said, yeah, this level fucking sucks ass for ages. But I don't know. The positive outweighs the negative for me, personally. I feel like this world especially has a lot of really interesting shit going on. The ice mechanic, flat out, is really cool. I like it a lot. Not a soul could make me hate that shit. It is such an interesting, cool mechanic. So, not only do I get a level in the beginning and a level in the end that utilize that ice mechanic really cool, I also get this third level in there that has like one slight misstep, but the rest of the level is fucking awesome. So, who really cares? You know? By the way, can we mention the fact that I have not had to worry about flickies at all during this entire run? I play these stages normally. I maybe restart them once or twice so that I can make it look like I know what I'm doing. So I can cut that shit in and be like, wow, look, oh my god! Yes, best Sonic gamer ever. But, I really did not grind for flickies. Like, I'm not going out of my way for this shit. Unless you are actively avoiding enemies and actively avoiding flicky capsules when they're right in front of your face, like, you're gonna be fine. And I know that, again, I've had this conversation before in this playthrough. Let's run it back one more time, just for old time's sake. I understand that, hey, buddy, we've lowered the flicky count for the PC version because, hey, we don't have all of the extra bonus shit, like the little bonus mini games or whatever that you could do to grind for flickies, like in the Wii U version. So yes, this is not necessarily how the game was at launch, but again, those bonus content things were super short, super easy, took 15 milliseconds to just grind through. So fucking fast. Was it great that they were there? No, probably not. We probably shouldn't have had to have those. That's fine. But it was never like an issue. It was never an issue that took you more than 15 seconds to deal with. Like, whatever. And then, oh, this is the only version of the game that is actually available for purchase now, unless you go to a used game shop. So who fucking cares about the Wii U requirements? Like, why do they matter at this point? No one's gonna ever see them ever again unless they already bought the game on Wii U ages ago. Who cares, bro? Like, I don't see the issue. Anyways, I like this stage. I didn't play it really well. I'm sorry. Just heads up. There was a section towards the end where the... We'll get there when we get there. Maybe that's the one issue I have with the stage. Sorry, that wasn't a laugh. That was me covering a cough. Did that make it less noticeable? Did you guys... Did you not notice that I did it? Did you guys not hear that, bro? Awesome, great. I'm glad that worked out for me in the long run. But it's a cool level. I really like it. There's a lot of really cool 3D sections here. Again, I like the cylindrical shit. I personally enjoy that. I know I've gotten people saying they don't like it. To each their own. But I actually really like the 2D sections as well. This shit, oh my god, you would constantly see people talking shit about this section because, hey, guys, look, there's ice and parkour in the same section, and then this is a perfect explanation of my problem with the run button. Meanwhile, it's just them not being able to let go of it for 3 seconds, bro. I know I'm a hater, bro. I know I'm a hater. People would get caught there with the run button. They would parkour up that little ledge and get crushed, and I would see so many videos bitching and moaning with that exact clip, and it's just them being stubborn, bro. It's just them being stubborn, and I hate the skill issue argument. I don't think it's valid at all. There are always better ways that you can explain how someone is not interacting with mechanics in a way that the game pushes you to do it, right? Again, great example. The ice mechanics and the fact that you will get caught on things with parkour if you're holding down the run button, pushing you to not constantly hold down the run button naturally is one of the few things this game does well in teaching you. It is like one of 2 things the game actually does a relatively good job naturally teaching the player. And people will just be very stubborn about wanting to go fast, and then they won't actually think about how to maintain and attain speed in this game, and then they'll do some dumb shit for ages and just hold down the run button constantly and then bitch and moan like it's the game's fault. All right, there are better ways to explain how someone's lack of focus on specific things, right? How like someone, oh look, they're not focusing on this mechanic, they're not interacting with this mechanic at all, they're taking it at face value and then never ever trying to do anything different, even when the game is constantly hitting them over the head with a fucking brick. Like, whoa. My point is, first of all, this section is terrible. It's not actually bad. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool platforming here. You have to be very, very overt with your movement here to make sure that you actually lock on to these little fucking Metropolis Zone bullshit doohickeys. You have to be very, very, very meticulous with it. You have to run pretty much all the way over the middle section, or else it won't lock you in. And that fucking sucks, and I struggled with that for eons and ages, and I almost started over the stage at this point, but I was like, fuck it, I just need to get this video out, bro. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this shit anymore, bro. My point is, all right, running it back, I just bitched about this section. Running it back to my previous point that I got absolutely, I got lost in the sauce on it, man. There's always going to be, in every situation where someone says skill issue, right, and it actually has any ounce of validity, right? there is always going to be, I don't know how that happened. Whatever. There is always going to be a better way to explain, hey, this is a system you are not interacting with. The game did X, Y, and Z to teach you to interact with it. This is not on the game, right? The game explained it well for X, Y, and Z reason. You are not interacting with it because you seem to be stubborn about something, or you just didn't even try to interact with it. There you go. It is that easy to avoid saying skill issue, because skill issue is the most, and I'm gonna say this in the only way I know how, it won't be respectful. It won't be respectful, but some of y'all need to hear this. It is the most pussy shit you can possibly say in any discussion at all. Flat out. It makes you look like such a bitch, because you don't know any talking point about why you think someone is wrong about something other than, oh, well, you're just bad at it. You can't concoct a single reason why they could possibly feel the way they do, and you can't think of a single way to refute the fact that they feel that way and say, hey, I disagree with you because X, Y, and Z, right? I disagree with you because actually the game does this and this and this, and it teaches you really well and whatever, and you don't seem to be interacting with these mechanics, whatever. You can't think of a single fucking way to explain your point. So you have to fall back on two letters that make it seem like you're winning, when in reality, you add nothing to the conversation at all, and you look like a dumbass. Just flat out. You look fucking stupid. Saying skill issue. The term is never valid. There will always be another way to explain why the person is quote-unquote wrong. It's all video games at the end of the day. It's subjective bullshit. But there will be different ways and better ways for you to explain your point. And if you just say skill issue, or even if you drop skill issue in there after explaining your point, it not only makes you look bad, it makes you look dumb, bro. Because you flat out do not have any better way of explaining your point other than those two funny little words that make you feel better than them. It is the stupidest fucking term I've ever had the displeasure of seeing. Even the IGN reviewers don't deserve it. There are better ways to shit talk them. Be better. Be better, please.